Sorry I'm a little late. I'm actually testing out a new little home studio that I put together. So typically I don't have this all set up. Typically I'm not using lighting to do videos like this, and typically I don't have a ton of makeup on. But I'm here today to share my story and just kind of get used to using my home studio. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Colleen Curtis, and I have been with Beachbody for 3.5 years. June 30th will be my 4-year anniversary. So I'm kind of like the grandma of the group, I guess. Candace is one of my coaches, and Haley and Amber are my business partners. We're all business partners together, but it's so cool for me to see kind of full circle that Candace is in here sharing her success story, because I remember back in the day when I was talking to her about coaching, and it just feels like yesterday. So time flies, and I'm super proud of her, Haley and Amber actually. But I'm here to share my story and kind of how I got started with coaching. So let me kind of rewind a little bit. I want to tell you a little bit about where I'm from. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, and I now live in Lake Tahoe, California. So for me, I grew up a really amazing, awesome life where my parents raised me to be respectful, hardworking. You go to school, you get good grades, you have a fancy resume. Like, my discipline and my work ethic, hey girl, is really, really good. And I'm so thankful that I had that. But I've always kind of been the black sheep of my family, where I love to adventure. I love to take risks. Hey, Haley. I love to just, like, if there's a group of people who love to do one thing, I'm the person who likes to do everything the opposite way. That's just, I don't know. This is how I am. I actually like fear being boring and normal, so I always try to make things fun, hence my glittery background. And just, by the way, it's like my closet, so I'm no pro. It's just a sheet in my closet. So anyone can do this, is what my point is. So when I turned 24, I really had the urge to travel, and I had been to the West Coast in Lake Tahoe, and I fell in love with it. So at the time, I was working for Verizon Wireless, and when I moved across country, 3,000 miles, packed all my stuff up in a pod. Hi, Elizabeth. I packed everything that I owned and didn't know anyone here. So it was pretty cool for me, because I love those types of experiences where you're just jumping in, taking risks like many of you are in this opportunity. I thrive off of that kind of stuff. So when I got here, it was this amazing playground. And if you guys know Lake Tahoe, you know what it looks like. It's absolutely beautiful. If you don't, go look it up, Google it, it's amazing. But here I was going into this corporate job 50 hours a week, and I ended up working for a really bad boss when I moved across country. So I was 24 years old. I had a really successful corporate career right out of college. I got this fancy corporate job and was making this awesome salary. Like, I thought I was the coolest thing since sliced bread. I thought that I made it, although we never really make it, right? But I was raised that you build the resume and you climb the ladder. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but for me, being the black sheep of my family who loves adventure, wasn't for me. So when I moved out here and worked for that terrible boss, it was like banging my head against a wall every single day. She had complete control over me, or I guess I should say, from what I know now, I let her have control over me. I let her affect the way I felt. I let her affect, like, my life. I had stomach ulcers, which is actually how I found Shakeology, because I was really unhealthy on the inside. I was super stressed out, so what I would do on my days off is I would party irresponsibly. I racked up $20,000 of credit card debt because I was shopping to try to fill those voids of where I was really missing in life. So I was that good employee, though, where I just put my head down, I got to work, excuse me, and I never even thought about leaving or anything like that. Then, the more I started to live in Tahoe, the more I started to think, like, there has to be a better way. Where I live, there's a lot of entrepreneurial people. They have their own, like, local businesses, or they start their own clothing brands. And here I was going to this, like, deadbeat job that I absolutely hated. And I started to realize that there was more inside of me. So a blessing in disguise actually came my way. I ended up losing that corporate job, and it was one of those scenarios that you hear about. Like, I walked into work one day thinking it was a meeting, and I hated my job. And I'm handed a white envelope by a group of people that I didn't know. And they said, "I'm really sorry, but your store is closing." So not only did I have to work for this terrible boss and my life was in shambles, and now I freaking lose my job. So I know what it's like to kind of be rock bottom. At that point in my life, my husband, he was then my boyfriend, we took a break because I was like total hot mess city. I was in credit card debt, lost my job, unhappy, unhealthy, scared shitless. So yeah, I was a hot mess. So that was back in 2011. So I started to think like, okay, oh wait, I don't have to go back into this terrible job. I was actually really excited about that. But I obviously knew I had to pay my bills. So I picked up side jobs. I worked at a tanning salon for a super crazy lady. I ended up working at a nightclub, slinging drinks, doing cocktail service. I made great cash doing that, but clearly I'm more talented than just serving alcohol until 4:30 in the morning. It started to really take a toll on my body anyway. And then this was my moment where I realized that I needed to do something more. So, sorry, my husband is called. He had a doctor's appointment. He might call again, but hopefully not. So I was actually at a music festival with my husband. That's our favorite thing to do. We love to go camping, music festivals. And I was sitting there and I was so unhappy and my anxiety was rushing through my veins. I don't know if you guys have ever had that feeling where it's just literally taking over your body and it feels like adrenaline is being ejected into my veins. And I was laying in the tent and I was like, at this point I was 27, a couple years had gone by. I was like, I'm 27 years old, like what the F am I doing? You know, like you were raised to have this strong work ethic and discipline. And not because I was at a music festival and camping, but I was thinking about life. I was like you're gonna go home and go back to all those crappy side jobs. Like you've got to get it together. And because of that anxiety and my stress from my prior job and current situation then, my ulcers were terrible. Hey guys, thanks for saying hello when you hop on, it helps. Otherwise, sometimes I feel like I'm just talking to a wall. So for me, I was like, all right, I'm drawing the line in the sand. And you hear that phrase, but I literally did that. I said, as soon as I get home, I am not going back to this life. I am not going to let myself settle. I'm not going to be broke. I don't want to be stressed. I want to be happy. And I took 1,000 trillion% when I made that decision. You can't just make a decision and then when it gets hard, backpedal. So I was like, okay, I need to be resourceful. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with my freaking life. My dream, travel. Go to all the music festivals in the world I want. I love hair and makeup. I love being able to express myself. I couldn't do that in my corporate job. Tattoos, like whatever it is you want, right? Just do what you want to do. I wanted to create a successful online business. Love social media. A dream of mine was to have my own blog and website, which is kind of funny because I have that now. I don't know what it was about that, but I was like, I want something with my name on it that, gives me credibility and where I'm giving back to other people. And then more importantly, I wanted a hard body. I wanted to feel sexy. I hated the way my legs looked. I hated the way that my midsection looked. Like I was so weak. I was in a very bad place. So when I got home, I said, okay, who do you know that is successful that can help you get a job? Because I have this awesome resume, which was kind of useless at this point. But how can I get a job doing something that I know that I'm going to apply myself and not just do another job? I wasn't going to go to a restaurant and get another serving job. I didn't want to do that. So I said, hey, I have this friend that I went to high school with who's really successful with Beachbody. And Elizabeth Harkey's her name, and she's a couple years younger than me. The cool thing is, guys, is back in 2013 when I signed up, the company was smaller, but everyone knows Beachbody. Everyone knows P90X. Everyone knows Insanity. Most people, when you say Beachbody, they're like, I think I know that. And a lot more people are starting to know it, but everyone freaking knows P90X. And if you don't, you live underneath a rock. So I knew that joining a multi-level marketing company that was well represented in health and fitness, creating lasting life confidence changes, like that was something I wanted to be a part of, no question asked. I didn't even ask about the company. I didn't ask how I earn, although you guys are going to find all that out. I was just the person that was like, I know what it's going to take for me to be successful. I'm going to sign up. I'm going to get awesome results. I'm going to share it. I'm going to have a website. I basically treated my social media like a blog. And from the day I signed up on June 30th, 2013, I owned a business. I didn't sign up as this hobby Beachbody coach thing. I didn't want to make $100 a month. I was like, I'm going to be a millionaire with Beachbody someday. I'm not there, but I've made almost $500,000 with Beachbody in 3.5 years. And so I have to just shout out a little income disclaimer here that I'm not guaranteeing you any success or money. This is not a get rich quick thing. Guys, I've slaved over helping people's lives for 3.5 years. And that's probably a terrible word to use, slaved, but I show up in my office every single day and work because it doesn't feel like work. First, I changed my life. I took 100% responsibility and I told myself that I had to get happy, healthy, strong, mentally and emotionally. From doing hard workouts, from being a part of this community, I started to see the light. I started to see those successful people over there. I just need to work a little bit harder. I need to work a little bit longer and I need to take their advice. So if you're here today and hearing all these stories, and for the next few days, you're going to hear kind of the how to get started. The first thing that you need to do is you have to get in your head and say, girl, I want to do this. And tell yourself, claim it, own it. You want to be happy, healthy, sexy. You want to have abundance in your life, don't you? Abundance is not about swimming in the piles of cash like most of the other sleazy network marketers are going to tell you. It's not about that. It's honestly about being able to go do the things I want to do. Money equals freedom. And so the income I make now, I would have to be a high-class surgeon or doctor or lawyer to make the kind of income I do. And guys, I show up, I do my workout, I kick ass on social media, I do lots of personal development, I lead myself first and then I lead others, I drink a shake, and I travel, I do things outside of my comfort zone, I take my coach's advice, I get to meet awesome people like you guys. So that was kind of skipping over the whole middle part of my story, obviously, but I get super fired up. I'm being honest though, for me, I was the girl who signed up and never looked back. I didn't dick around. I took this opportunity as this is going to take me. I told myself my goal was on my 2-year anniversary, which is, by the way, the day I actually got married. It all worked out in a super creepy way. June 30th, 2015, I said, I want to be able to have my first dance with my husband and say, babe, I frickin' did it. We frickin' did it. And I earned 6 figures that year. So again, not just about the money, but now the money has allowed us some crazy things in our life. And I'll tell you what that is. I've paid off debt. And then my husband has had cancer twice. So he's good now. He actually just called because he just had a scan. So hopefully all went well. But guys, I don't know where I would be without this business for when my husband got cancer. We had to move out of our house for 9-10 weeks and live with his family because that's where the facility was for him to do chemo treatments. I was able to freely sit by his side not because, day one, you're not making 6 figures, but because of the first 2 years that I put in, working hard, changing lives, making waves in this society that needs a lot of leadership and a lot of vulnerability right now. Because I did that before, the universe really rewarded me when we needed it most. I was able to go be with him every single day. And then as soon as he finished chemo, I said, you're not going back to work because I want you home. We're going to start a family, hopefully soon. And we're actually buying an RV next year and I can travel all over the country and Canada and do whatever I want because I am not tied down to a job. Working from home is cool, but being outside, being able to be on my phone, iPad, laptop, wherever I have service, that's rad. When I'm on vacation, I can still earn an income. For me, money equals freedom. I cannot say that enough. So this opportunity for me helped me pay off that debt, has helped provide for my family when my husband wasn't able to work. For me, it gave me a sense of purpose. It gave me a sense of, I want to wake up and eat awesome food. I want to wake up and learn about how my body works. I want to wake up and help women stop living in this little tiny box that society puts us in. You are bigger than the box that you think you're supposed to be put in. Maybe your mom and dad shoved you in a little box and they said this is what you're supposed to do. Maybe your boss or your job or the values and beliefs you have are in this little tiny box. You have one life. Most of us probably have 70, 80 years left on this planet, and I hope that you live it in a big way. My passion, my mission, my drive every single day is to help everyone on a scale of 1 to 10 live their life at a 9. We're never going to be a 10 because we're never going to be perfect, but I want you to live your life in a vibrant, happy, healthy, successful, abundant way. And so when I look at other companies, yeah, they're selling a product, or, you know, everything is sales, by the way, like the clothes you're wearing, the makeup you have on, the groceries, like everything is sales. So don't feel like you can't do this because you are helping people by providing a product and service and experience for them. I want you to think of this as an opportunity to help people, and you happen to get paid for it. Like, doesn't the light bulb go off for you and say, okay, well, a personal trainer gets paid to teach someone how to eat and work out and all that, so why can't I create a supplemental income that will become a full-time income on the side, doing something that is so amazing for this world? And you're gonna learn so much about yourself along the way. The personal development that we do literally makes you feel completely unstoppable, to the point that you wake up and you will kick ass every day. So if you're in a sad place in your life, girl, I've been there. There were days I couldn't get out of bed, but I now know that when you're like that, you can't act depressed. You have to act as if you want to be successful. You have to make the decisions to show up every day. You've got to do the hard work. And most of the hard work is up here and in your heart. Sitting down at a computer and making a post about my workout for today, that shit's easy. Anyone can do that. But if you're not mastering your mind about, oh, what if my friends judge me? Or, oh, like, what if my mom sees this post and is like, what are you doing that for? Like, master this first, commit to this opportunity, follow Haley's lead, follow Amber's lead, follow my lead, follow Candace's lead, and your life will change. The surroundings around you will start to change. And if you don't believe that, it's all up here. So that's my rant on my story and how I got started and what it's done for me. I really hope that this was helpful or inspirational in some way for you to like make the decision now, tomorrow, Wednesday, Friday, whenever you want, to just go for it. The cool thing about this is there's no risk. You can't mess this up, guys. If you make a bad post on social media, we can fix it. If you gain 5 pounds, you can go back and you can lose the 5 pounds. If you're not at your fit body, it's all good. This is a journey. And for the rest of your life, I'm pretty sure that you want to be happy, healthy, and kicking ass. And that's what we do here. So I love you guys. I'll see you later. If you have any questions, let me know.